آيَاتِنَا عَجَبًا. Do you suppose that the companions of the cave, Ashab al-Kahf, their story is something which brings wisdom, which brings wonders to you? The companions of the cave, and the inscription was one of our marvelous miracles. Imam's head was there on top of the spear. It spoke, more marvelous than the companions of the cave is my martyrdom. Imam heard this ayah. His head is on top of the spear. He hears this man reciting these ayat. And when Imam hears this ayat after his martyrdom, he said, no, Ashab al-Kahf's story is not more marvelous than my martyrdom and me being raised on the spear. And Imam spoke from top of the spear. Salma ibn Kahil says, I saw the head of Imam atop the spear while reciting the following verses, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Allah will suffice you against them, and He is all-knowing and all-hearing. Imam is reciting ayat after ayat, even after the martyrdom. Second, sincerity and pleasure to Allah. Quran praises and encourages the group of mujahideen on the path of righteousness by saying what? إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. So those who march in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to attain this martyrdom, Quran is encouraging them and inviting them. And Allah wants to actually have this deal with you, this transaction with you. Every single day goes by, we have transactions. From the smallest of the things that we buy, like groceries, from the biggest of the things that we purchase, which requires maybe your credit check and whatnot. So you're always dealing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you this deal. See if you can comprehend this deal. See if you are willing to challenge yourself to accept this deal from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. That indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has purchased the nafs and the mal of mu'mineen, and in return Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them, all this is in fi'l madhi, past tense, Allah has given them the Jannat. So what is the commodity which is being sold? So when you buy something, when you sell something, there's this money that you give them. You give your credit card to pay, and then you receive this commodity. And sometimes if the commodity that you're receiving, the thing that you're buying in this transaction, might require some sort of warranty, because what if it goes bad? I need some sort of warranty for it to be covered so that you will come and fix it, for example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is providing that guarantee. He said, first of all, the mu'amala is with Allah. That when you give your soul, when you give your wealth in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is guaranteeing this thing which is called Jannat for you. Of course, what we are offering to Allah is not even worth anything. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving back multifold in a way which there's no price tag on it. Can you put a price tag on Jannah? Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, there's no value for your nufus except فَلَا تَبِعُوهَا إِلَّا بِالْجَنَّةِ. Don't sell your nafs for anything less than paradise. If Jannat is something which is being given to you as far as your soul is concerned, then that is the only transaction that you should indulge in, and nothing more than that. So Imam Hussein declares the main objective behind his journey to be the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Generosity, forgiving, being kind, and lending a hand to those in need are amongst the noble traits which Imam showed and portrayed throughout this journey and throughout his life. These concepts can be seen in Quran on numerous occasions, and of course the character of Imam Hussein perfectly embodies all of these traits and all of these characters, as we can compare it with the ayat of Quran. Letting go and forgiving, one of the most noble characteristics of mankind, especially when one is capable of taking the revenge. You have the ability, you have the power to go ahead and take back or to take the revenge, but then you go ahead and stop yourself. Then you go ahead and show sabr and patience. That's a bigger thing. When I don't even have the ability to take the revenge because I'm the weak one, it's not a skill. But while I have the ability to go ahead and take the revenge, but I still let go of it, that shows real resilience. Moreover, one should go higher and forgiving and respond positively. These are some of the lessons that we can derive from the Quranic seerah of Sayyid al-Shuhada throughout his journey, from the time that he began, from the time he arrived in Karbala. As you will continue to hear in these upcoming nights, the marvelous story of Imam Hussein and his martyrdom. How they, well, you understand regarding Masoom, that how he would do such a thing. But think about those who were around him who were not Masoom, who were Ghair Masoom. Not everybody with Imam Hussein is infallible. In fact, only his son, Imam Zainul Abidin, and a fifth Imam, who was 4 years old at that time, is amongst the 14 Masumeen that we know of. No one else is at the level of Ismat and Tahara. Now, of course, the family members were, of course, very close to this Ismat, but many of the companions, they came along. Their families that came along, they were not perfect human beings. But yet, the love of Sayyid al-Shuhada, that was there for them to leave everything behind. And the best of the examples you find in Zuhair ibn Qayn, who was a businessman. He was very close to the third caliph as well. Had everything that he wanted. Very, rich person. But when he was coming back and he was going a little bit ahead of Imam Hussein, Imam sends a letter to him, sends a person to him to invite him. Zuhair does not pay much attention. But then his wife tells him, go listen to what Hussein has to say. What do you got to lose? But if you don't say, go listen to what he has to say, then you'll regret it entire life. Zuhair knew what Imam might be saying, but he did not want to take part in this initially. He did not want to be part of this conflict initially, for a variety of reasons. So he did not have much inclination to come and join Imam. But when Imam's companion comes, invites him for a little while, Zuhair comes, meets Imam, and upon his return to his wife, he says, I let you go, in a sense that I'll give you a talaq if you want, so that you're free, so you can remarry someone else you want. All the wealth that I have is yours. Go and leave me over here. Wife of Zuhair says, a moment ago, you weren't even sure if you want to go see and meet Imam. What changed in a few moments that you came and you met Imam Hussein, and now you're letting me go and you're giving everything of your possession? He said, he showed me something. He showed me what I will miss out on. Between his fingers, he showed me what is about to take place. And for sure, martyrdom will happen. And I don't want to spare this opportunity to stand with Sayyid al-Shuhada. And that's the spirit that Imam was able to, just by meeting people, just by the words of Sayyid al-Shuhada, that you find how it was impacting people. And today is the same way. When you tell the story of Sayyid al-Shuhada with the same compassion, you'll find people from all walks of life come and join hands. Because we're standing up against oppression. We're standing up for justice. We're standing up wherever there's, zulm being done, our voices should be rising for the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada, regardless of their religion, background, ethnicity, color of their skin. That's what Imam Hussein has taught us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and ability to follow the commands and the teachings of Masumeen, especially the sirat of Sayyid al-Shuhada in Nahs al-Hadith. وَأَبْلَغَ الْمُوِذَا كِتَابُ اللَّهِ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم غافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم سبحان من سبقت رحمته غضبه وبسط اليدين بالرحمة سبحان من لم يكلف نفسا إلا دون وسعها وفان السيئات ولم يجاز بها سبحان من لا يزداد على معاصي العباد إلا كرما وجودا ولا كثرة الذنوب إلا عفوا وصفا نشهد أن لا إله إلا هو لطوف على العباد بجوده والأفضل على المذنبين بحلمه ونشهد أن محمدا نبيه وحبيبه سيد المرسلين وشفيع المذنبين بعثه رحمة للعالمين ألا قد أمركم الله في محكم كتابه بالصلاة على نبيه وحبيبه فقال تعليما لكم وتشريفا للصفي إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيد المرسلين وشفيع المذنبين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وعلى إمام المسلمين وقائد الغر المحجلين أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين وبذة خاتم النبيين سيدتنا فاطمة بنت رسول الله صلوات الله عليها وعلى الحسن المجتبى والحسين الشهيد بكربلاء وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي عليهم الصلاة والسلام. اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب الزمان ماهي آثى البدع والطغيان هادم أبنية الشرك والنفاق حاصر فور البغي والشقاق صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آباء الكرام اتصلت الليالي والأيام. اللهم عجل فرجا وسهل مخرجا واكحل ناظرنا بنظرة منا إليه واجعلنا من المستشهدين بين يديه وتفضل على أمرائنا المؤمنين بمزيد التوفيقات وازدياد الإقبال وغلو في الدرجات. اللهم افعل بنا ما أنت أهله ولا تفعل بنا ما نحن أهله بجاه محمد وآله المعصومين صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين. ممن يذكر فتنفعه ذكر أن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Make sure there's a connection to the ladies. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.